Boy, next week is Christmas. It's amazing how fast these years go. Kind of scary. Fun, but scary. Today, we're going to look at oranges. Hello, everybody on Facebook as well. I'm going to ask Ashley if she would, and Anna Marie if she would, look over to Facebook and bring any questions that are there over to the Zoom session. Um, so welcome. It's good to see all of you. And I'm going to go back to my, okay. So Giovanni and Letiza are going to start with oranges. They have a whole list of oranges. And
Yeah. So today we'll try to explore some oranges, starting from the oxidate gold. That is means it's one of the oranges you will find in the map. Always keep the map with you so you can follow with us. And then we explore the orange, starting with single pigments like Peron Orange. It's a one single pigment orange 73. Then we have a permanent orange, the other one. Then we have a three pigment cadmium orange hue, the single pigment Peron orange. Then we have transparent pyrrole orange. Then we have Mayan orange, it's one. And the other one is, I think, it's again, you have also don't forget the quinacridone gold. The original quinacridone gold was a pigment orange 49, but it has discontinued. So you should save the one you have because no longer is produced. But it has been substituted with another one. There is a quinacridone deep gold. There is pigment orange. And then you have the quinacridone burnt orange. Okay? And that's all. There are also other pigments that are combined with the pigment orange. There are some green, like you have the sap green, the sap, the deep sap green, the hooker green, the undersea green. They have inside the pigment orange 48. There is the quinacridone burnt orange inside. And then the new black made by Jane Blundell. There is a pigment, it has a pigment orange inside. There is the Jane Black Blue Orange. It has the pigment orange 71, made with the pigment blue 15, 2,6, and pigment red 188. So enjoy. Giovanni will mix will explore some oranges, starting from Pyrrole orange, and then you can mix with the blue. So he will find the mix with orange and blue can give some brown. Sometimes it gives a green. You also find to light some orange with the yellows. So you light your orange, you make it more bright, and you get a pastel the orange with the whites. We have the titanium white and the Chinese white. You can get a beautiful pastel orange for your project. So now Giovanni is done the Pyrrole orange with
orange with hello guys, with Mayan dark blue.
okay. Mm.
And I inverted the sequence Mayan dark blue. Beautiful combination, and apply from this mix the titanium white and Chinese white. beautiful pastel tone. For example, in this way, only with the water. Inverted mixes. But with shiny white. Here this beautiful shade. The second is permanent orange. And indent from blue.
And now it's a kind of green, not a brown.
Okay. And titanium white. A beautiful shade of gray. The third color, third mix, is a Peron Orange. Very orange.
It is heightening.
And ultramarine blue. Right, in this case, I use the Chinese white. The beautiful shade of pink. And change the sequencing ultramarine blue. For there. And white.
It's interesting you can see the red-based blues versus the yellow-based blues and what they do with the oranges.
Yes. And the shade is very beautiful shade. Okay, another mixing is transparent Peron Orange. Very intense orange.
What name is that, Giovanni? Transparent?
Transparent Peron Orange.
Okay, thank you.
And The blue is French ultramarine. With this beautiful brown. And use the titanium white in sticks for the beautiful sand shade. Change my sequence to French ultramarine before. There. White. Purple tone. Okay, yeah. Another beautiful, beautiful orange is Mayan orange. And the blue is cobalt blue. White. Change my sequence. Cobalt before.
I'm swatching along with you, and I have a organic vermilion, so I have some that aren't labeled there. Just saying it is good that it is acceptable and good that we're swatching along even if we don't have the exact same colors, yes? Thanks.
It's red. Remember that organic vermilion is a pigment red.
Ah, thank you.
Hai capito, Giovanni?
Sì, sì, sì. Okay. Different, very difficult. And another mixing is quinacridone burnt orange. One of my favorite.
Yeah, this is the base of many colors we have.
Yeah. With the couple is queen burnt orange and queen gold. Okay. And the blue is phthalo blue green shade.
Giovanni, did you apply the yellow, the gold on top?
Puoi provare anche...
So did you mix quinacridone burnt orange plus quinacridone gold.
Yeah,
Ok, poi
Okay, and then what is the blue?
it's
Phthalo-
phthalo green shade.
Phthalo blue green shade.
Yes.
yeah. Eh,
Thank you.
You're welcome. Okay. In my pigments. In our orange. Chinese white for the
su, aspetta, che su.
okay. Sorry, Angela. Queen Bar Orange and Queen Gold.
Sì,
Okay.
Yes.
Queen Bar Orange. Gold.
devo mettere uno sopra l'altro.
E lo mixo qui.
Proprio su?
Titanium white. Okay.
These colors are so rich and saturated.
Yeah, absolutely. Okay, now my last is cadmium orange hue.
We were talking before with the ambassadors, talking about the fact that this isn't a real cadmium, so it's a lot safer to use. It's the hue in the name depicts the fact that it's a copy of the color, not the original cadmium.
And Persian blue. The Chinese white. Okay, change my evenly strong.
Giovanni, we
Yes.
have a question in Facebook. Tom Brown is asking, how do you see this actually being used in a painting? How do you use it in a painting? Come lo puoi usare in una pittura?
Come lo usi nei dipinti?
The orange.
The mix. I understand that he's talking about the mixes.
Okay.
Ah, tutti fatti mix.
It's most important to use these mixes. For example, when I obtain in the still life, for example, in my style, when I paint in the still life with the orange juice in the glass for the eye reflection, I use the mix of the orange for create a very multiple shade. I don't use the color the normal color, but I prefer to use the mixes for the have a lot of shades.
So with the pure color from the tube, if you use the color, even if it was diluted in water, you wouldn't get this wide range of shades. Is that what you're saying?
Yes.
Yes.
And also to create shadows, shade and shadows.
Okay. So, and if you sprayed some water, this would give even more shade, right?
Yeah.
Yes. Devi mettere un po' di
Because the
acqua.
colors might separate then.
Absolutely.
L'altra domanda è qual è il fattore che più influenza tra il bianco di cinese e il bianco di titanio?
The difference with the white is for more cool and more white and more warm. I prefer the titanium white for the pastel tone because it is perfect value for me. But many color is better with Chinese white. Okay, the last we mentioned with the pigment orange inside is the Aussie red gold. It's a beautiful color. And cerulean blue chromium.
Which one?
Cerulean blue chromium
Brilliant.
for create this light green. And change my sequence.
A sinistra. Proprio su.
And 3 dots of Aussie red gold.
Seems a green.
Yeah, check the difference.
So the thing is the combination between orange and blue can make, sometimes it makes brown and sometimes it makes green.
And sometimes
Sometimes
violet.
violet.
Violet, yes.
This is titanium white, and now with Chinese white.
Proprio su. Non si vede.
Chinese white is more invasive, right?
Yeah. The difference.
Proprio su. Più su.
Più su, più su.
Più su.
Oops, sorry.
Okay.
Yes.
On the left, you have the titanium white, on the right, the Chinese white.
Uh-huh.
Okay. And the last combination I use, for example, on wet Peron Orange on sticks and Mayan Orange on sticks.
The only sticks the orange available are Peron Orange and Mayan Orange.
And
Yes, It's easy if you want to paint an orange on the train, on the
And
bus.
take phthalo blue green shade.
He used the phthalo blue green shade because it's warmer than the phthalo blue red shade.
Titanium white on stick. For create a
Gray.
gray shade.
Beautiful color for storm clouds.
Thank you, Caroline.
It is also very good for like atmosphere, for distant mountains or
Yeah, absolutely.
yeah,
I remember the
Sunset.
Lumolen landscape.
yeah. Bit misty.
Yeah. And the Mayan Orange, my last mixing. Wet on wet. Okay. And Mayan Blue Genuine. Right. Like more. And another steps. I use the Peron Orange. Oh, wet on wet. Similar to fireworks. And ultramarine blue.
What is this orange, Giovanni?
Perinon.
Peron Orange.
With ultramarine.
Ultramarine.
Yes.
And titanium white.
Erano ancora perché ho usato Chinese o Titanium.
Okay.
Giovanni, can you show us Mayan Orange with cobalt teal blue?
Yeah, absolutely.
Mayan Orange o cobaltil blu?
Wet on wet?
Yes, please.
Okay,
Sì,
absolutely.
sì.
I'm interested to see which is the push and which is the pull of those two.
Cobaltil blu.
Blue.
Aspetta.
Very opening.
The cobalt's still the pushy color.
Yeah, yeah. Mixing together. And Chinese white.
It's interesting to see how dominant the Mayan orange is still, even though the cobalt teal blue is a pushy color.
Yeah, yeah. Now I try to change the sequence, the predominance of cobalt blue, for example.
The Mayan Orange is very strong. Yeah.
Very, yes. But it will be fun to see how it will be if you start with the cold teal blue, because that's a strong color too. As Caroline says, pushy color, yeah.
Devo provare l'inverso, cobaltil blu.
Yeah.
Ok.
Sequence, cobalt blue before. I try dry on dry and wet on wet, obviously. And lot of Mayan.
That's a really important point. If the under layer is dry, the glazing layer behaves differently compared to a wet in wet.
Absolutely. And on wet, feel. And the opening is too small, is slow, different. And when I'm mixing, obtain completely gray.
Yeah, it's a really warm grey.
Absolutely.
Mm.
Okay, my last mixing, and the time to another brand ambassador is Cadmium Orange U. Very with two blues, Indantron and Cobalt Blue. Beautiful brown,
Chocolate.
titanium white for pastel tone. Okay, and now try to hold the orange only with the titanium white. This is Peron Orange. Spiral Orange. Permanent Orange. Orange hue. Transparent Pearl Orange. Mayan Orange. Twin Barth Orange.
Have you done any Aussie red gold yet?
Yeah, that's it. Aussie Red Gold. Pink Gold. Queen Deep Gold. Okay. Thank you for the attention and show the mixing now dry. Very beautiful. This is my last try to another mixing with the titanium white and the water, only the water. I created multiple shades. Very beautiful mixing. Thank you, John.
This
Well,
proves how versatile
thank you.
orange is in our kits.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Shall we
Beautiful.
have Buffy this time? Are you ready, Buffy?
Hi, Ethel. Sure.
Hey.
Hi, everybody.
Hi, Buffy.
Hi, Sandra. Did I get that right?
Yes.
So, Giovanni, thanks again for sharing colors that I wouldn't normally play with. But what I like to see, this one is Peron Orange, and this is the Cerulean Blue. And when you pull it down, you know, you have your orange. We know that. And then Cerulean Blue is a real pretty blue. But watch how quickly it'll turn to that brown. It's just amazing. I was just surprised how neat of a color you get and how rich and saturated Giovanni's mixes were. Look at that brown. Gosh, can you guys let me swatch it so you guys can see. It's like this rich chocolate ice cream brown. Look at that. Isn't that beautiful? And then because the cerulean blue Chromium is kind of an interesting color with the Peron Orange. It kind of makes this color that plays. So I think the question was, how could you use it in a painting? And it would be interesting to use this as a brown, especially if you were doing a wet on wet study, because then you would get these lovely color changes that would be happening. Let's see if I can get, I mean, it's super rich. Then the next one is the Mayan Orange. And again, this giant bright orange, and then the Mayan Blue, which is that deep blue. And then you mix them together, and again, it's like an instant brown. So anybody who's having trouble getting a brown, these color recommendations not only give you a brown, but such an interesting brown. You can go darker, go cooler, go warmer. And again, when we water it out, we have that opportunity for those fun color separations, or like Caroline said, those push and pulls. Which color's the bossy one? Which color's the bully? Like, look at this turned almost, gosh, like that orange is really showing up. And then the last one that I wanted to play with was the quinacridone. I'm sorry, the Aussie Red Gold, which is such a neat orange color. And then the Sleeping Beauty. And you mix that in, and like Giovanni was saying, you can get the greens. So here's an interesting green. Go a little bit more blue or a little bit more Aussie. And then when you water that out, should make for some interesting colors.
It's an interesting combination because it's the colours of the Australian landscapes and often of the colours of the Australian skies.
Ooh.
Aussie red gold and cobalt teal blue are just friends.
Aren't those neat?
Yeah.
Especially for those of you who just love to do wet paintings or pouring, or like Caroline, those nice abstract landscapes, or those ones where you put the paint on thick and then you activate it with water. Wouldn't these colors be exciting for that kind of application? It's neat too because the Sleeping Beauty is kind of poking its head through the color mix. So anyways, thank you for letting me share today.
We had a
Thank
good
you,
question.
Buffy. How about Ashley? Anything to share today, Ashley?
My camera is not letting me, but I'll go ahead and show it. So basically, I really like the way that Letty did her swatches. Let me turn off my portrait. I'm going old school today, guys. I really like the way that these swatches were done by Letty, so I kind of copied. One sec. We're still portrait. Okay. Oh my gosh, look at these colors.
Beautiful.
And I love the way they fade, as you can see here. So you start with like a more of a mass tone, and then towards the bottom, I added more water. And I'm thinking skin tones. So I started to see skin tones. And so if we flip this, here we have Pyrrole Orange. I'm sorry, it's backwards. Pyrrole Orange and Cobalt Teal Blue. And I really like some of the skin tones coming out of this. So this is Quinacridone Burnt Orange and Mayan Blue Genuine. And I was just about to do Peron and Cerulean, and I was getting some browns. You see that? But that's, yeah. And then here's Aussie Red Gold. Gorgeous. Makes me want to go visit Caroline. And that's all I have for today.
Please.
Thank you, Ashley.
Thank
How about
you.
Angela? Let me see how many cameras Angela has. There. We only have one camera today, right, Angela? Oops, your mic is off. We can come back.
Yeah,
Yeah. Okay, now we hear you.
I couldn't get the sound to work. I'm going to set up my camera, okay? My second camera, all right? If you give me a couple of minutes.
I can come back. Yeah. And then maybe for the meantime, we could have Rick.
And I'm going to take my camera. I have a new camera, so I'm having to work at it and bring it forward. But I think it's upside down. But you know what? That really doesn't matter. What is important is that we're using the colors that we're assigned today, and I'm making it very simple. Because it's the holiday, I think these Christmas balls are good, but I'm using only cobalt blue. I'm using Peron Orange and Mayan Orange and Aussie Red Gold and quinacridone gold and Chinese white and titanium white. You know what? If I turn it this way, how about that?
Beautiful.
And I'll just paint upside down.
That's perfect.
What I'm trying to do is to show just how these three colors or four colors basically can be used to actually create a scene. And this is a small piece of paper, but what I'm trying to do is mix, like with the cobalt blue here, as it's still wet, I would touch in a little bit of, say, either the Peron Orange or the Mayan Orange, and some of this is quinacridone gold. So if I go to the quinacridone gold and just start, and I need to see where it's still a little wet. And if it's not wet, I'll spray it with this just a little bit. And I want you to see how the quinacridone gold will just pull itself upward. That's dry, which is good. And how these colors can just blend well together. And you know, this could be, if you were doing a Christmas card or something, I could put a little holly. We would mix colors that could make the greens from what we're working with today. But I like the contrast here with the cobalt blue and how when it's wet on wet, it just blends in and leaving light as if it would light on this Christmas ornament, and just to give it the feeling of it being round. And that's laying in just this arc of the white here. And using the titanium white, I can go in and just soften some of these areas here. Because like I said, my goal is to make it look like a sphere. Now, I think if this were a snowball, I think it got mashed in a little bit on the side, so it's not quite circular. But I want you to see how even with just a few colors, we can be very bold with what we're trying to create. And like I said, on purpose, I just selected a few colors to just see how they work well together. And this is the Aussie Red Gold. I really like how it is going to blend with the quinacridone gold. And let's just see what happens. Then add a little a little water to it. And it will create a nice oval shape here. Now I'm going to test something. Because of the value here and here, I'm going to put in a little bit of the cobalt blue and see how it mixes here to create some depth. I will add a little water to it. I don't want to get too close to the wet area there. And our objective is to see how the colors will blend and how you can create beautiful mixes with that. And I will fade this out at the top. And then if I'm going to use a little of the Mayan Orange just to mix with the cobalt blue, pretty much like I did here. And add a little bit more water here to just let this bleed out and do what watercolor does so well. I'm going to try something here. Someone have a question? Okay. I'm going to use a little bit of the titanium white in with this mixture, which I think might help give it a better shape or a sphere-like shape. So, wow, that really is turning out really nicely there. I think I need to repeat that somewhere. Just really like how these colors will just merge with the other colors and create beautiful, beautiful colors. So if no questions, we'll go ahead and let Ethel go with someone else.
Yeah. Thank you, Rick. So now
Thank
I'm gonna
you.
have Angela, and then Anna Marie, if you have. Okay, so we do Angela first, then Anna Marie, and then the remaining around 5 minutes, we'll have some of Caroline's artworks and perhaps two more from our friends in Zoom, like Anna Candela and whoever's swatched along. So Angela, on you.
Hi, everybody. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Yes, okay.
Yes.
Great. I'm mixing some yellows and some blues, as you can see, but not in a very orderly way, but just random. So here I started with the Aussie Red Gold in the middle here. This is Aussie Red Gold. And going into, this is a phthalo blue-green shade, like Giovanni used. And so here I'm mixing them, and we get a beautiful green. And here I got this, I think it's not an orange, but I like the effect. It's the organic vermilion. So I'm sorry I mixed it there, but it's also nice. And this is the quinacridone deep gold here. I had quinacridone deep gold, and I wanted to see how it mixed with the phthalo blue green shade. I like the mix also. And this is a color that Giovanni didn't use, this one here, which is the lunar blue. That's lunar blue. It's a color that is not so powerful, but it gives you very beautiful granulations. Okay, that's the lunar blue. And obviously the phthalos are always domineering. It's very strong colors. So if you put a strong yellow with a strong blue, then you get these strong greens as well. And here I used also, I think it's a sort of a red, which is the quinacridone burnt scarlet, but I like it. If I use the quinacridone burnt scarlet with a yellow, it will hopefully become an orange. Look at that beautiful orange. And finally, I used the cobalt teal blue in this angle, which is a color I love. You see how well it mixes with the Aussie Red Gold. Very delicate mix. Super delicate. So I will see how this evolves when it is drying. Paper is buckling, but no problem. I will put a bit more yellow here. But it's not pure. It's already mixed with the cobalt teal blue. That's it. I don't know why, but I like to use a lot of color, not just light washes. I think that if I incline the paper, I like the effect that we get. But that's about
It,
you want
it looks
some-
like a tapestry, Angela.
a what?
It looks like a tapestry.
Ready to hang it on the wall.
Tapestry.
Yeah.
Beautiful.
And it looks a little
Thank
bit like
you.
a finding, the German artist, the finding artwork.
Thank you.
It's beautiful.
Somebody else wants to participate? Yeah.
We have
Anna
Anna Marie.
Marie.
Thank
Hi,
you,
Anna
Angela.
Marie.
Thank you,
Thank
Angela.
you,
I'm really
Angela.
inspired by
Thank
your
you.
active painting and the intuition of it. Raphael on Facebook was asking about mixing cobalt turquoise and transparent pyrrole orange. So I was painting along with Giovanni.
Wow.
That I have with me. So this is something all of us can be doing in our homes at the same time, using what oranges do we have to work with. Letty let me know that the organic vermilion is not an orange, it's a pigment red, but in my eyes, in my perception, I perceive it as an orange because we all perceive colors uniquely, right? So I used it as an orange.
It's a warm, bright red. That's why.
And then Raphael was asking about a cobalt turquoise and transparent pyrrole orange. And I didn't have transparent cobalt turquoise with me, but I have genuine turquoise Sleeping Beauty. And just really nice being able to see the granulation that's working between the transparency and the granulation of the color. And then what I was able to do was take the limited palette that I have, the colors that I have, and start mixing the transparent pyrrole orange, which is in my dot card, with a variety of other colors as they suggested, as Giovanni and Letty suggested. So my blues, my oranges, my yellows. And to be able to see the beautiful granulation. Here we have Sleeping Beauty turquoise, ultramarine, phthalo blue red shade, and to see how your orange interacts with each of the unique colors that you have on your palette. So you can explore using Letty and Giovanni as a diving board to go forward into exploring your own colors. So again, I love the granulation. So exploring the transparency against the granulation.
Oh, the lapis lazuli, however you said that. Can you show us that? Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Look at that. That's cool. Thank you.
Absolutely gorgeous. Yeah.
And the soda light, I love soda light. And then I start having my own artist's mixes, my mud, my mother on the palette. And this is the neutral blue with the granulation, the neutralized green. And then I start getting into my yellows and started with my granulating goethite, nickel azochrome, and Hansa. And just to be able to see, so we can use Letty and Giovanni's example for us to play with the colors that we have in front of us.
Yes. True.
Anna, what did you mix with the lapis?
All of these are transparent pyrrole orange with the colors
okay.
on. So I want you
Pyrrole.
to in your studio, what colors do you have on your palette? And then work through the exercise with the colors that we have. Thank you,
Yes,
Letty.
ma'am.
And
Yay.
thanks, Raphael, for the great question.
Thank you,
Yes.
Anna Marie. Just for the interest of time, we will close the session today with artworks by Caroline, all the way from Australia. And this will be good to answer the question on how do we use the colors featured today on a painting. So we have here about 5 artworks. We start with this piece, just quickly going through them. Caroline, you can, of course, comment.
Beautiful.
Sure. Well, when the subject of orange came up today, I thought, I don't think I use orange. So I thought I'd have a quick look through some artworks and where I've used different oranges. So Aussie Red Gold and Quin Gold are always on my palette. I really like the transparent orange and the permanent oranges, but creating mixtures using the oranges is also really dynamic. So these are just a few samples of different works I've produced over the last few years that I have in my digital folio that have orange as a part of the sequence. I think when I think of orange, I think of it as a pop color. So I'm looking for it to be a contrast on the page to add a vibrancy to the artwork. So you can see each of these are dynamically different styles, but each use oranges in different ways.
Beautiful.
Thank you, Caroline.
You're welcome.
And
Thank you for showing them.
John, should we have Anna, just one sharer from the audience?
I think that is just fine.
Hi.
Okay.
Oh, okay. Oh, okay.
Hi, Anna.
Hi, everybody. So, I followed your advice, Anna Marie, and I'm using some of the colors that I have and some combinations. Actually, Giovanni did them, but mostly they're one color that I had with one of my palettes because I didn't have them all. And so you have the main you go from the orange to the blue, and then I diluted it a little bit so you can see the combinations. And I think you didn't use Queen Sienna, and I see that that's an orange. It's a PO. So so there's another one that you have, and
Queen Sienna's fantastic.
yeah, and I mean I just grabbed phthalo blue here, and these are the wet on wet ones, and Caroline's suggestion of the Mayan orange and cobalt blue teal, these two. And I thought they were so cool. So thank you for the recommendation. It's just very, very cool. So thank you, Giovanni and Letty and everybody, and John. Thank you.
You're so welcome. Thank you.
Thank you, Anna.
Thank you.
Thank you. So it's a
Thank
big
you,
Merry
everyone.
Christmas to everybody.
Absolutely. And to you.
Yes, thank you, Caroline.
everybody. Merry Christmas.
We'll see you
Thank
tomorrow.
you for taking part
Yes.
today. Hope you can be with us tomorrow. And as Caroline said, welcome and great Christmas for everybody. Hope you have a wonderful holidays with your family and loved ones. Bye, everybody. Thank you for sharing today.
Bye bye. Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Thank you.
Have a
You
Merry
too.
Seattle
all
Christmas.
tomorrow.
Thank you.